primary purpose of the red flag rules is to protect businesses and consumers from identity theft. So the most important part of the entire process is the identification verification process. To verify a customer, users need to do the following. This is the first screen you will see when you first log into the application. From here, you want to click on Add a Customer Without Scan Hyperlink, which is the second one available. This brings you to the customer information page. Here you want to fill out the required information for this customer. There is an asterisk next to the fields that are required. After all of the required information for this person is entered, you are now ready to run the verification for this person. From here, there are two types of verifications that you can run, the Express and the Comprehensive. The Express is the one more commonly used for customers that the dealership is familiar with. For example, repeat customers that come in every couple years and they buy a car. The Comprehensive is the one more commonly used for customers that the dealership is somewhat suspicious of. For this demonstration, we will show you the Comprehensive version. You'll get a pop-up window that informs you that there will be an additional charge for this. Just click Yes. The customer information you entered is now being verified with the information that resides in the credit bureau databases for this customer. The next screen is the results of the initial verification. The first place you want to look on this screen is the red flag scoreboard. This gives you all of the current statistics that have been verified with the credit bureaus. There are a total of 26 red flag rules. Only the first 18 apply at the transaction level, so 8 of them are not applicable. As you can see, we have already verified and satisfied 8 of the 18 required rules in just a few seconds. This did the entire address, Social Security, and home phone number verification for this customer. You now need to satisfy the remaining 10. In the top left-hand corner of this screen, you see that the check address button is grayed out. This is because there was no discrepancy with the address listed for this person's driver's license with the address listed with the credit bureaus. We now want to click the button to the right of the check address button, which is the identity resolution button. This will bring up the next screen. This screen contains the out-of-wallet challenge questions that only the real person would be able to answer. After the customer has answered all of the questions, click the Submit button. A pop-up window will appear that contains the results of their answers, and it also asks them if they would like to make any changes. If they are satisfied and do not want to make any changes, click No. This will bring you back to the original screen. Notice the identity resolution button is now grayed out. Next, you want to check if the customer's name appears on the OFAC terrorist watch list. This is the button just to the right of the first two. Click on this button and the next screen appears. This information is downloaded every night from the official file of the Treasury Department. Therefore, this file is current at all times. In this example, the person's name did not appear. However, this verification only did an exact letter-for-letter match of the person's last name. Remember, there could be different spellings of a person's last name. This pop-up screen allows you to do a more comprehensive search of this person. In this next example, we will check the last name of Rodriguez by utilizing any name that begins with the first 3 letters of ROD. This can be accomplished by typing in ROD asterisk and clicking the search button. Here you will get a list of all the persons whose last name begins with the first 3 letters of ROD that currently reside on a terrorist watch list. You can select them one at a time. After you select one of them, the 2 main fields you want to be concerned with are date of birth and country of origin. At this point, if you think you have a match, you want to call the OFAC hotline. This information can be found on the bottom of the previous screen. If you believe this person is okay, click any of the first 3 buttons on the OFAC resolution box, and then click the Update button. This will give you a pop-up window that reads, OFAC check is complete. You are now back to the original screen. Here you want to satisfy the remaining red flag rules. Notice the box that reads Verification Questions. You now want to read and answer all of the questions contained in that box. After you have answered all the questions, click the Update button located just under the scoreboard. Are you confident that the person's driver's license or other appropriate identification has not been altered in any way? Yes or no? Are you confident that the picture on the driver's license or other appropriate identification matches the customer? Yes or no. Do you believe that the customer has provided all required personal identifying information, including 2 forms of identification, or at least made an honest attempt to provide this information? Yes or no. Based on the number of correct responses in the identity check, 6 out of 6 for a percentage of 100%, do you believe that an attempt at fraud has taken place? Yes or no. Based on the information that this customer was between the ages of 7 and 9 when they received their Social Security number, do you believe an attempt at fraud has taken place? Yes or no. Do you think that the information on the identification is inconsistent with any other readily accessible information? Yes or no. Do you believe that the application appears to have been altered or forged, or gives an appearance of having been destroyed or reassembled? If the credit report was required, was there any indication of a credit freeze, a fraud, or an active duty alert? If a credit report was not required, check no. After you have answered all of the questions, click the Update button located just under the scoreboard. Notice the scoreboard has changed and all 18 of the red flag rules have been completely satisfied. You now have completed the entire red flag rule verification for this customer.